Good afternoon, and thank you for being here. I have a very brief statement, and then I will entertain questions at the end. When accepting the role of Superintendent of Norfolk Public Schools, I committed to the school board members, staff, and stakeholders that I, along with my administration, would be fully transparent and open with communication, even if the revealed truths are less than favorable. My primary focus and concern is for the education and well-being of all students in Norfolk Public Schools. As expected, comments, articles, blogs, and the like will be written to acknowledge or disagree with the district's progress. I do not take lightly intimations that can negatively impact our children and their families, confidence in our efforts. Comments that are made to intentionally plant seeds of doubt or mistrust, articles that are written without providing a full view of events, laden with conjecture, misquotes, and misrepresentations, all of which are aimed to cause alarm, distrust, and confusion, are not only disingenuous, but are grossly disconcerting. I take situations such as this personally, as they can and have affected the perception of efforts being taken to provide quality educational opportunities for students under my leadership. To that end, I would like to briefly, yet clearly address the most recent article published by the Virginian Pilot. Norfolk Public Schools is committed to transparency and accuracy of all data and information provided to our local media for journalistic purposes. The school division provided the Virginian Pilot timely and accurate information available in our former Student Information System, or Starbase, and our current Student Information System, Synergy, for the time frame requested. Norfolk Public Schools responded to the Virginian Pilot's data request and indicated that the school division could not fully support the inquiry in the format that was requested from data contained within the former information system, or Starbase. However, historical and current data for all our students are available and accessible. The school division's new student information system, or Synergy, includes the collection of course withdrawal data. While all school divisions must comply with state requirements, each school division may choose to track additional data elements based upon internal school division needs. The fall master schedule collection, done on October 1st, requires information on all students enrolled in courses on that date. The end of the year master schedule collection requires data on students for the entire school year. Norfolk Public Schools has submitted both of these reports as required to the Virginia Department of Education, and both were accepted. As required of all school divisions in the Commonwealth of Virginia, Norfolk Public Schools maintains a permanent electronic record of all courses that students complete. Those completed courses are reported on student transcripts and used to review student progress, to schedule subsequent courses, and to monitor progress toward meeting graduation requirements. Norfolk Public Schools is focused on the success of all students and will continue to provide exciting and rigorous opportunities, options, and a variety of supports to ensure students' academic achievement. Our efforts will not be distracted. I will entertain questions at this point.
Do I need to press? I probably should press that. We're not used to doing this with the microphone. I just got to ask you, Dr. Boone, would you categorize the article as misleading then? What specifically hits you that people may read and take away from that that is blatantly, it sounds like there is some blatant false.
We can start with the headline where it says unable to capture 4 years worth of student data. Every student's transcript is complete and is maintained in that record. As I indicated, the annual reporting to the Virginia Department of Education is complete. And so because there are questions about data that we had not historically captured, doesn't mean that our data are flawed. nor does it mean our students are impacted or hampered by not having that particular aspect of data. Our new system includes that. We started with Starbase in Norfolk Public Schools in 2000. In 2014, we began the migration to a new system. All of this prior to my arrival, the 2014 piece. The new system takes into account the data that the federal government is interested in, the data that perhaps states are interested in, and any local opportunities for us to customize for other data points that we have. So it's never been an issue that we have not maintained the data. We have captured the courses that students complete. Therefore, they are able to continue their program of studies, take those necessary courses for the type of diploma they are pursuing, and to graduate. And those transcripts are what have allowed entry into colleges and universities in this state across the country, as well as military and other career opportunities.
So I guess then I'm still confused to Brian's question. What then, are you saying that what was requested didn't exist and therefore couldn't be provided, or existed but was somehow lost?
In the Starbase system, we would certainly capture students who began a course. Throughout the course of the year, if a student withdrew from Norfolk Public Schools, we have that withdrawal date. When a student withdrew from a class, unlike in college where you receive an incomplete if you withdraw after a certain point of time and the incomplete shows up on your transcript, but if you withdraw in college prior to that date, there's no record of you having been enrolled in that class, or otherwise it shows as withdrawn. High school transcripts don't necessarily show withdrawals and changes. So we can capture students in the old system when they left the district. And our data collection reveals and reflects through the Starbase students who completed the course and what their final grades were.
But with the new system now, you will be able to track when a student withdraws from a course, not from the school?
We will be able to track both. And we are tracking both as we are completing our second year full implementation of the Synergy program.
And can you just explain again, and why did you call this press conference, and was the Virginian pilot invited?
The notice was made on our Facebook, tweeted out, and on our website. For all
We received a personal email invitation. Did the Virginian
again,
pilot?
We wanted to make sure we had media here because, you know, as I've come in on December 1st, I am dealing with some things that were history in the district. And as a result of that, I think it's important for me to be out front and to be very clear to the public that the superintendent is part of this work, that I am leading this work, and that under no circumstances am I hiding anything, am I not being forthright and forthcoming about this work. And so it was important for me to be able to address it. I was responsive as superintendent to every question that I received from the Virginian pilot. Most of those comments are not reflected anywhere in the article.
I know they had spoken to different people, if you want to say experts, previous this, previous that. Is there any basis to what they had said about how this could affect, because that information is not there, whether it is the number of teachers, courses offered, certain things like that currently in the Norfolk Public Schools?
Currently, the Synergy system captures every bit of that. Students are enrolled in courses, and we monitor and map that out. Because the state has a set of graduation expectations for standard or advanced studies diplomas, students know what courses they need in order to be successful in meeting those requirements. As far as the individuals who commented on the situation, that's purely their opinion, given the fact that at least one of the individuals' responsibilities in the district had absolutely nothing to do with master scheduling or high school student courses. And so that is purely their opinion. Again, if Norfolk Public Schools had failed to maintain the appropriate data, then we would have been hearing since 2000 that student transcripts are incomplete or inaccurate and therefore impacting their ability to graduate and to matriculate through colleges and universities and into post-secondary opportunities.
I guess what I'm wondering is and again, since it would be a snapshot, and again, Starbase provided a certain snapshot because certain things weren't programmed to pick up, to track. If I'm understanding from what I was reading in the article, some people said that some of that information that's maybe not there is not helping in providing current staffing or as moving forward for that time that's maybe it's not available, so that maybe teacher numbers right now may have been different had it been looked at with that information.
I would disagree with that because, again, the end of the year course summary, we know who's in classes all throughout the year. Okay, the system collects that information. We have attendance data in Synergy, we have enrollment data, we have general district withdrawal information in Synergy, and we had that in Starbase. At the end of each school year, we would roll over our system, and what was maintained in Starbase are those points of how did a student finish the year. We know course enrollments because these, as you indicated, these are snapshots in time. We have 2 required state date reporting dates, October 1st and end of the school year. So we know very clearly who's enrolled in courses and what's there. And let's be clear, our principals and teachers will tell us if their class loads are way over what they should be and the challenges that they have. So we gain that information from a variety of sources. As far as planning, we look at overall enrollment, we look at the aggregate enrollment in high schools, elementary schools and middle schools by grade, by the entire building, and then at the high school level, we look at it by course.
And I forget if this was mentioned, the 4 years that were referenced, what was the time frame for those years?
The Starbase data that were provided for the 2014-15 school year. And so I believe the other years were 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, and maybe 10 and 11. So it was the 4 years prior to that.
And to be clear, to quote you, intentionally planting seeds, are you referring to the part in this article where it says school board members in the fall reviewed class enrollment data in light of concerns of a practice of withdrawing students who are struggling in advance of SOL testing to boost test scores?
I'm not specifically referring to that as one of the issues of concern. When I arrived, I learned about the school board's further inquiry into what was happening with student movement in and out of courses. In January, I believe it was, I presented a report along with members of the team of what we knew about enrollments and what happened to students, particularly those who may have withdrawn from an algebra course, and what the supports were for them to be successful when they would have an opportunity to complete the course and then retake the SOL. So we did a presentation to the board in January. So we've not shied away at all from any of those conversations. Again, that was on the table when I arrived December 1st, and I have done my due diligence to keep the board informed as to our understanding around the work and responding to the information request.
I guess I would ask you just bottom line for parents and students at home right now, number one, and maybe bottom line for the faculty, staff, the full staff of Norfolk Public Schools. If you could break it into the message for that group and then that second group.
The message for parents and students is very clear. Your students and the students are receiving education in the courses that they need to be successful. There are times when shifts will occur and students lose interest in a course, may not have the readiness for a course, and we make adjustments. And parents are fully involved in that process. But parents and students should be very clear that student records are fully maintained so that their full program of studies will be reflective on their transcript, and whether what they've taken in 9th grade, if they bring credits from middle school into high school, those count. All of those credits are reflected on their transcripts, and that's what we use as the roadmap for planning and for their success. To our faculty and staff, I appreciate all that they are doing each and every day to ensure the quality of education in Norfolk Public Schools. I recognize that there's been a tumultuous few years in Norfolk Public Schools, and yet my commitment for being here and being in this district is to bring stability, to create focus and alignment on what we do and how we do it, and to get results. And so the faculty and the staff are key to that success. Thank you again for your attendance this afternoon.